So this is a bit more off the cuff, but honestly, I'm not even going to go for a script for this one. I just played recently Simpsons Hit and Run, and goddamn was it a masterpiece. And it needs to be rebooted, honestly, because I can genuinely see the new generation loving this game. And speedrunners as well. I can already see the speedrunning scene absolutely popping for it. But I'm just going to preface this now. Literally, it was just an absolute baller of an experience. But the best part about all this is just the driving. So the thing is though, is that actually going ahead and, I don't know, playing a level and playing one of these missions, they would actually be so easy. They'd be so easy. The maps are just straightforward. Literally, the missions are pretty straightforward as well, but it's just the driving. It is just the driving. The gags are amazing. Like, there's a lot of just fun, just, I don't know, references to the movies. You obviously have a bunker outside of Ned Flanders' house, referencing that one time where they all went into Armageddon. It's just other people's driving and yours. So first of all, there's a bunch of different cars that you can go through. My personal favorite, okay, Snake's Bandit. Okay, Snake's Bandit is god tier. Okay, I'm just gonna say it now. Forget about your Malibu Stacy's and your Homer Rollers, okay, Honor Rollers, whatever they're called. But essentially, what it is that there's different types of traction, there's different types of control. There's obviously as you go through the levels, obviously the cars will become more faster. But there are so many of these different gag vehicles as well that the game also tries to put you through. And especially some of the cars at the beginning, where you're just trying to figure out the controls, where you just start hitting everything. you just go, I don't know. You'd find yourself, I don't know, maybe trying to do yourself a skip. So you got like a little bit of a narrow passageway through like a little house or garage, so you can get onto the bloody road ahead a bit more quicker than going around. Which in a lot of these missions later on, you have to do. There's no way around it. You cannot do these missions without just doing the roads normally, unless you have some sort of speed hacks. Or you have that first level absolute zoomies of a rocket that just destroys everything in its path. But anyways, there is just you're all around the place. You're just all around the place. You're trying to figure out what the hell's happening, and the other cars don't know what's happening either, because they just acts like, don't get me wrong, you may be thinking, whoa, these cars are just driving in a straight line. No, they're not driving in a straight line. They're not being methodical. They're not being just straightforward. They are literally ramming to anything and everything they can find. Okay, they're lying to you. Okay, this is a propaganda. This is propaganda about the game. Okay, every time I went off and I'd done one of these missions, I would guarantee hit a vehicle. And it wasn't even because it was my fault. Most of the time, they would swerve into my path. They will go and change lane into my path, which happens more than once. I'm pretty sure that there's actually like some sort of code going on there to check if the player is close by, so they can change to the lane most nearest to them. But even then, when you do get hit and they do all this stuff, they stay there. They stay there. Honestly, I've been playing this game and I've loved my time. I love my time with it, and I want to make this more off the cuff video just to kind of experiment with something here, because I'm so passionate. I don't care about a script. Okay, this game's driving is so infuriating. Like, I can just imagine like me just driving on a straight line and then just it working out for me. Like, I can't imagine that. I keep on getting hit by a vehicle that was like 20,000 feet away, and they stop in the middle of the road, and then they swerve into my lane, they stop, and then when I'm trying to accelerate through them, they just stay there. They just stop my path. Multiple times through multiple chase missions, I've lost the target because of those fucksticks blocking my path. But no, though. Honestly, this game was absolutely mega fun. If you collect, basically, there's cards in the game as well. That if you go and collect a bunch of these cards as well, every single one, you also get this like itchy and scratchy episode, secret one, that you kind of unlock in the third level with Lisa, or third missions with Lisa. So honestly, That was really, really fun as well to watch. And trying to find all the gags, though. I personally, toward the end, I didn't actually start bothering finding all the gags and trying to 100% it. I was going to. I was really trying to push to go and 100% this game. But then I started realizing that, like, it started getting really boring. But basically, gags are where you interact. I should probably explain as well. Gags are when you basically interact with the world and something would come up. So, for example, if you interact with a swing set, it'll dismantle. That would be a gag. Very funny, haha. But trying to find all of those were quite, and especially at the first level, Homer, which I think all of us pretty much remember, was a bit of a pain because, well, I didn't really understand where most of them were, and the last one was in bloody Apu's Quickie Mart, which is quite funny. Oh, there's my phone going off. But that wasn't too much of the worst part. I think trying to collect, though, every single wasp camera, I don't understand about the wasp cameras. What was that feature about? Wasp cameras? Like, I could understand from, like, Mr. Burns' point of view. But, like, canonically, what are they about? Like, why are they the main enemy? Like, why can't it be, like, an evil version of myself? It's like a wasp camera. Getting the wasp cameras was quite fun, though. It gave you many mega monies. Okay. But I guess the worst part, though, was trying to collect every single vehicle. I didn't collect every single vehicle in the end. I personally just can't be bothered. I never use the other vehicles anyway, so there was no point in me actually going ahead and buying all of them. But it was just that toward the end, it got really, really expensive, and in each level, you didn't have enough wasp cameras, or enough gags, or enough of these boxes, or crates, and vending machines to get you enough coins, so you practically had to do wager races. And they are essentially just this time trial, where you just have to basically beat this certain area, this race, that's designated to this level, in a certain amount of time. Which my kind of go-to was kind of Marge's level, which I think was like level 3, 4, I think it's 4. Some of these kind of sections where you're playing as a character or two, it's completely dependent. However much of a time you have is completely dependent on that level. Because let's say I'm playing in a really dense city, trying to drive and trying to get to the other side of this dastardly like race before the time ends is nigh on impossible when cars and you just can't drive if you want to get consistent income and not just drain all your money trying to enter these wager races. So you have to kind of go back a level and then just crank out a bunch of races with Marge, for example. Wait a minute, I just realized something. The bloody wanted system, god damn it. The wanted system is such an absolute pain in the fucking ass. Because, look, don't get me wrong, at the beginning, you don't really activate it. You don't really activate the wanted system a lot. However, though, when you get into the later levels, and especially more denser levels, you tend to get a lot of wanted. And these things can set you back 50 quid at a time. So whenever you're doing let's say you're doing a wager race, for example, and you put in £35, and let's say you've accidentally triggered a hit and run. You then have to try and escape these same cops then in a specific amount of time. So that's already a stress enough. But if they catch you, you lose 50 quid. So by simple calculations, even if you win that race, you'll only get about 20 coins compared to the full 70 you're supposed to get. And God forbid you lose. God forbid you lose that race, because then you just 100 coins down. Like you just lost everything at that point. You just lost. And the cop cars, man, I don't know what they're driving either way. It's just in this game. Do you know what? This is the best way to summarize Simpsons End Run. This is what driving would be like if there wasn't a driving test. If people didn't have to do their driver's license. People would like be really, really timid on junctions, but then be sporadic, don't know how to turn, don't know when to indicate. Just honestly though, it was just an absolute fun time. Definitely recommend it, emulate it. I'm not gonna spoil too much about it. I've been ranting too much about it. The cars in the game, very fun. Best car, Snake's Bandit, his voice actor, I just can't get enough of his voice. Very fun. Honestly, I just had to get my mind, I had to just talk about it. Anyways, yes, have a good one, be safe, and I'll see you all soon.